Before we get started, if you guys want to learn how to speak Arabic easily, then download the AlKhaleel app. It's a fun and hassle-free way to learn and practice your Arabic. And if you're thinking about it but you're not sure, then just try it out. You can get a free trial using code Rami. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah and welcome back to the channel. Yesterday I posted a video speaking about these texts that came out from Charlie Kirk 2 days before he died. They were released by Candace Owens, and I said in the video I wouldn't be able to confirm that they're real or deny that they're real. Now again, I have not been able to confirm these are real. I wouldn't be able to confirm or deny them, and this is coming from Candace Owens.
Charlie was done with Israel bullying him, and I am now going to present you proof of what I am saying. This is an actual group chat, which happened 2 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. There were 9 people in total on this chat, including Charlie and Rob McCoy, but I want to show you this because suffice it to say, Rob McCoy was on this text thread, and I think it helps contextualize him as a person, in my view, that he would attack me for telling the truth about the pressure that he was facing.
In the group chat, Charlie Kirk says, just lost another huge Jewish donor. $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker Carlson. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Then he says, Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. But today, new evidence has come out to show that this is 100% real. As a matter of fact, Charlie Kirk sent texts 2 days before he was killed, stating that he is leaving the pro-Israel cause. And how do we know that they're real? The person who leaked them came forward. Yes, Andrew Colvett is not only an executive producer on Charlie Kirk's show, but he is described as being the best friend or one of the best friends of Charlie Kirk. Here, take a look at this clip to see him explain why he released these screenshots.
But I want to take the start of this show to address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known and released by Candace Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth is out there. I first want to say the reason I didn't share that screen grab publicly is because it was a private exchange, and I felt like it didn't necessarily comport with things that were already public. I wanted to not betray my friends' trust in that way. But I did share it with some people in government because it happened really quick. It was, it took 33 hours for authorities to get their suspect. And in those first moments, we wanted no stone unturned. We wanted to leave nothing unturned. So I shared it with a few people. Don't know where it went from there, apparently. But here we are.
Now that's very interesting. Not only did he admit, as Charlie Kirk's best friend, that he is the one who released these screenshots and that they're real, he said he sent them to government. Why? Because he didn't want to leave any stone unturned, meaning that, hey, it's plausible it was an inside job. It's plausible that Israel did something to him because look at this screenshot. He also said he sent it to a few people and somehow it worked its way around and got to Candace Owens, which is very interesting. But this proves without a shadow of a doubt that that message is real. Now, what does this imply? What are the implications? The implications are very simple. Charlie Kirk, because of the Jewish donors pulling out from Turning Point USA, he decided to leave the pro-Israel cause, meaning that he's ready to abandon Israel, just like Candace Owens, just like Tucker Carlson, and multiple other people on the right, showing us why Israel would have killed him. So it's no longer speculation that he was ready to leave the pro-Israel cause. It's now fact. But one thing I forgot to mention in my video yesterday, and something that makes it even more evil and demonic and suspicious, is the fact that they already had Charlie Kirk's replacement ready.
And the coward that assassinated my friend last week attempted to shut our generation up. But if anything, he woke us up. And what's been really clear is that you can kill a man, but you can't kill a movement. And that's why we're moving forward. I know this is a really hard time to continue in this business, but we cannot cower and we cannot be silent. And that's why I'm going to these 10 college campuses in my first semester of college, because I feel that it's so important to continue Charlie's legacy of championing civil discourse. The reason that we got to where we are in the country today is because our generation was raised to believe that faith and politics were taboo topics to talk about. We didn't talk about them at the dinner table. We didn't talk about them when we go in public. Therefore, our generation doesn't know how to talk about faith and politics.
Yes, somebody by the name of Brilliant Hollyland is the one basically replacing Charlie Kirk. And guess what his position on Israel is? He is undyingly pro-Israel, As a Christian, he supports Israel because the Bible says so. He's even made the oh so great argument that the Bible says whoever blesses Israel will be blessed, or whatever the statement is. And essentially, he is an undying shield for Israel. So not only did Israel allegedly kill him, but they had his replacement ready and propped him up on TPUSA right away. So expect to see much more of this guy. He's already made like news station appearances, and I'm pretty sure he will be taking over Charlie Kirk's Prove Me Wrong fashion debates on college campuses across America. And there's no telling how deep this rabbit hole goes. I have a conspiracy theory that I think is shocking, but definitely plausible. And it all has to do with Charlie Kirk's wife. I already mentioned that this Berlin Hollyhand guy is replacing Charlie Kirk on the ground. But who replaced him as the CEO of Turning Point USA? His wife did. A week after he was assassinated, his wife became the CEO of Turning Point USA. Now here's why it's weird and suspicious. Everyone on the face of the earth who has listened to her speak about her husband, even by the way, just a few days after he was killed, has seen that she has been shockingly uncaring about it. She has not even shed a tear about it. She's just very fake, and everyone can just sense a demonic aura when she speaks. She doesn't seem like she's upset. She doesn't seem like she cares. She's giving these big performative speeches. And when I first heard it, I thought maybe I'm weird, maybe I'm wrong, but this seems fake. It seems performative. She doesn't seem like she gives a damn. Her husband just died. She's giving a speech thanking Donald Trump and whatever. She doesn't seem like she cares. But I thought maybe I'm the weirdo. Maybe I'm just socially unaware and I don't know what's going on. Everyone else saw the same thing I did. Especially when she gave that second speech at that like memorial for Charlie Kirk. And it was not a memorial, it was a political event. Yeah, that's the new CEO. And you know what's even weirder? She told a story about how she met Charlie, and they met in Israel.
I will never forget the time I was in Israel with my husband. Well, that was the second time, but the first time with my mother on a pilgrimage. And I was standing in the ticket line. And I remember looking behind me, and in the snake of the ticket line was a guy who looked very familiar. I had no idea who he was. And I told my mom, this guy looks so familiar. That ended up being Charlie.
What are two American conservative Christians doing in Israel at the same time, by the way? And now this is where it gets dark, because it's plausible. I'm not saying this is a fact, but it's plausible that his own wife was his handler, his like APAC type handler, his Israeli agent handler. And that I didn't even want to think about that because that's so evil and low and demonic. But then you remember that we're speaking about Zionists here and they will do anything. I mean, people even argue that Kash Patel's wife is a Zionist and his handler. So it's not unheard of, but the implication of that really scary to think about. The idea that his wife was not loyal to him, but rather to some foreign entity and would like turn on him on the drop of a dime. And again, the only real reason I see this as even somewhat plausible is because she seems to not care that her freaking husband, the father of her children, is dead and assassinated, murdered in cold blood. And she's all of a sudden, a week after his death, the new CEO of Turning Point USA. But back to the main point, Charlie Kirk pulled away from Israel and left the pro-Israel cause 2 days before he was assassinated, giving more light and evidence to the belief that it was Israel who killed him. And it's astonishing how low these Zionists will go. They blow up pagers, they murder children, they starve people, they're ethnically cleansing and genociding 2 million people. So killing someone before they turn heel and run away from them is not something to be shocked about. But let me know what you guys think below. With that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.